Hello, I am TDW fan, also known as Peter. I've been doing vlogs mostly for the past few months, like live videos. I used to, back in the day, do Minecraft videos. That was a long time ago. But I recently came into the possession of a new phone, sort of, and I realized I could record on the screen. So I wanted to read for my first test video, I guess, this story that I wrote the other day. Not the other day, a few months ago. On Reddit, and it got really popular. So I wanted to read that. The audio quality probably won't be the best, and I'll probably work on that in the future, but I wanted to try this out for now. And I like how just when I start recording, someone's like dancing around upstairs or something like that. Moving chairs, yelling, and I think I hear the vacuum cleaner. Alright, so I'm going to read this. You can read along with me if you like. The title of this writing prompt on Reddit is Every Person in the World Undergoes a Goodness Test. It's designed to give a score from 1 to 200, where 1 is pure evil and 200 is an angel in human body. Then the world is divided into 200 zones where people can live among their own kind. And this prompt was submitted by the user Mad Muffin Top. And here we go. I don't have it too bad, is what they'd say. Everyone could be pure evil. I didn't know that. We weren't allowed outside the walls. No one was. We 146s were a pretty large group, actually. 7 million people live in the city. We were pretty good, so I'm told, but I had nothing to compare us to. I wanted to get out and explore. I finally got my chance one night. I spent a few months building the ladder out in the woods. It reached 50 feet into the air. That night, as I reached the top of the wall, the ladder collapsed underneath me. I was on the top, but I had no way down. The wall was only about 5 feet wide, but no one had broken through before. I walked along the edge of the wall slowly. If I lost my balance, that would be it for little old me. Some zones were small, and some were enormous. All around the 146s were other large zones. A small marker identified them as 145, 147s, 136s, and 156s. They all looked pretty similar to our own group. 136 had a bit more trash on the streets, and 156 was a bit smaller, but overall nearly identical. I walked for miles. It took a lot of space to fit 10 billion people comfortably. I passed by a marker that said 166. This group had less skyscrapers and a few more farms. It was noticeably smaller than my own city, however. It only took about an hour to walk along its wall. As I passed the 160s, I came along 176th city, followed by an even smaller 186. These cities smelled nicer. The air was clean, the streets were safe, and families had each other over for company often. I watched 186 for a few hours before my curiosity got the best of me. 196 had about a dozen people living there. Half a dozen houses filled about a block's worth of space. All the citizens were having a cookout, each one doing his own part to help prepare. Everyone waited for their food before they ate. I didn't see one person frown. Beyond 196 was a vast ocean, so I turned and walked upwards. 197 had 9 people living there, 198 had 5, and 199 had a man and a woman. Curious. When I reached a corner, I was surprised to see that only a log cabin was sitting in plot 200, lying on the edge of a pond. I desperately wanted to know who lived in that cabin. I eyed the water, and then I jumped, landing feet first and sinking deep. I surfaced and hopped out of the pond, shaking off. Slowly I walked to the cabin, which had a trail of smoke wafting out the chimney. I stood on the porch and knocked on the door. A tall man with a white mustache and kind blue eyes opened the door. "Hello," I said, unconsciously wringing my shirt. "I'm from 146. I just wanted to meet the person living in 200. He smiled. "I know. Please, come in," he said, opening the door and letting me in. It was a cozy cabin, very warm and inviting. It had a strange sense of feeling like home. "Would you like some tea?" he asked. I nodded. Alright then, sit by the fire while I fix your tea. I must say, I think you'll quite enjoy it. The raging fire in the fireplace was a welcome feeling. I sat on the floor and let my clothes dry. The man handed me a cup and sat down in a large armchair. Tell me about your journey, he said, sipping his own cup. I delved into what had happened. I told him of my ladder and of the city of 146. I told the man about the other cities and how fascinating it was to see how differently they lived. I said how I wished I could live in a higher number city. Yes, I was greatly saddened when my children separated you all. Humans are meant to be together, not separate. Often when people reach my home, they are astonished to find how different some of these people really are. Other people have gotten here? I asked him curiously. He smiled kindly. Well, yes, others have, although I do not call this place my home. My home is a much grander place than this place. I wait here for people to reach me before I bring them home. I sat for a second, sipping tea. Sir, what's in the other corner? I asked him. His smile faded. Another man waits there, although his home is not a kind place. He entraps his visitors, and they are tortured forever. You are wise to have traveled here instead, he said. Another silence. I'm afraid that you cannot return to the city of 146, my friend. But I can take you to my house, where many of your kin waits. Would you like to go there and live with me? How could I refuse? I nodded and said, Very much so, sir. His smile brightened, and all at once I felt like singing and dancing. Very well. Sleep now, and when you awake you shall be with me in the merriest feast you will ever see. The celebration of celebrations is coming soon. He took my cup, and I curled up on his carpet, the heat of the flame on my back. Slowly I drifted off into a perfect sleep, eager to partake in the feast. So, yeah, I wrote this story 2 months ago, and I contribute to the writing prompts number pretty often, and I expected maybe like 5 upvotes or something. You can see here, 2,531 points. That's crazy, and it was really humbling, and there was some really crazy stuff that had come out of it. But yeah, and then it sparked a whole literary discussion. Everything that I'm scrolling through right now, people are saying, okay, what does this mean? What do you think this is about? I think this character is X, Y, and Z. I think this person's dead or whatever. It's crazy, like how much discussion I got out of this story. So this is by far my most popular Reddit post ever. And yeah, I just wanted to share it to YouTube as my first screen recording type thing. If you know any way that I can make the screen capturing better, like if you need a higher quality video, I think I can do that. Might also be able to do like help with the voice, because I don't think the voice is that high quality, but hopefully you can understand me. And yeah, so if you enjoyed, give it a like, and if you want to read it, you can search me up on Reddit. My username is TDW fan, and yeah, you can read this story, and I have a sequel to it right here. Yeah, at the bottom of the post, where you can read that if you want. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. So long.